Hello, I'm Fiona Peart. I'm going to paint 3 watercolour paintings for you, the first of which is a beach scene. Now I've already drawn it up and we're going to begin by wetting the paper. I've got a nice big wash brush, nice and wet, and I'm going to thoroughly wet the paper. Now you can see I've taped it all the way around. I want to push the water into the paper. It's very important that it's thoroughly wet because once I start to add the colour, if I've missed any gaps, this is going to show. And a little raw sienna just to tone it down a little bit. And then I'm going to get the large wash brush, make sure it's not wet, just enough to get some colour onto it like that. And then we're going to drag it across the top of the painting. This is going to be the water in the background, so you want just little bits of paint. It needs to be almost hit and miss really. You don't want it all over, but it's just going to darken that and leave some little bits. And the same, we've only used 3 colours. That's the head. Let that settle a moment. Always just let the paint sit into the paper. Just don't rush it, but don't panic about the watercolour running too much. If you want more colour, just tap it with the brush. So if we look at this area, this section in the background, we could probably just put a few more strokes here just to make the water a little bit darker. And a little bit there. With all watercolour paintings, you've got to remember not to fiddle. So I think that's about it. The important thing is we've kept the figures nice and fresh. The foreground is lovely and textured and dark, and the nice bit is letting the paint run for you. Let it go. So dropping in a little bit of red so the colour changes. To get the legs in. A little bit of blue. There's the feet. Now then we've got another person here. Let's just block in a few little shapes there. Now we'll let that touch this figure, that's fine. Another person in the background here. There's another figure here. Now we can put in a couple of lighter colours, some yellow there, a little bit of orange. This person's got light trousers. So whilst everything's kind of a little bit wet, it's quite nice to link colours together. So you've got some oranges and some reds and some blues, and this will start to look quite busy. Into the blue, nice clean blue, so a little zigzag almost with a paintbrush. Hand in his pocket. Then we've got a little bit of dark here. You're not painting in absolutely everything, it's just tap, tap, tap with a brush. I'm going to put a little bit of red into this, and let's have her in a red dress. She's in the sunshine. She's going to have dark hair, so scoop a little bit of the blue. This will just run a little bit into the dress. She'll have a nice dark bag. Now, and just watch where they're going, just keep an eye on them. Tap in a little bit more if you need to. So this whole area should look darker than this, and what will happen then is this looks like it's in light. And whilst I've got that shadow colour on, the final thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit on that awning. So, painting street scenes needn't be daunting. It's really giving the impression that there's a lot of busy things happening, so just little tap, tap, tap with a brush, little bit of an impression more than details. Well, that brings us to the end of the DVD. I hope you've enjoyed the 3 paintings that I've painted for you. They've been 3 very different paintings, but all of them have included figures. And that's what I'd really like you to have a go at doing, putting figures in your paintings, and most importantly, just enjoy the paint.